Yeah, because there's a time where we don't use extreme caution, right guys? Those are the most stupid signs ever made. Motorcycles, use caution. The only sign that's worse than that sign is please drive cautiously. Because, you know, if it wasn't for that sign, you wouldn't be driving cautiously. You just wouldn't give a shit, right? Well, a lot of people, I mean, like that fucktard with no headlights on. Alright, guys, a couple of firsts here. Testing the new helmet setup with the new camera, Hero 3 Silver Plus, whatever the adages they put on the damn camera are. Testing my new visor out, specifically at night, since I've heard you could use the silver at night and be alright. So far it looks pretty good. Also testing the new mic positioning with a dead cat made of sponge, because that poor sailor life. I was gonna putt around slowly on base for a little while, but I can see pretty well. I'll probably take a quick loop on base before I take off, because I like to see how this microphone setup does with highway speed, see if I can still be heard at 60-70 miles an hour. But easy topic to go over, and that is freaking action cameras. I don't have a whole lot of experience with them, since this is technically my second and it's still a GoPro like my first, so no, not too much experience. Heard a lot about drift and stuff like that, but I mainly wanted to address GoPros in particular because of a video I watched. Because I had to cut the hard case around it. I had to cut a hole in the side to mount the USB going through for my mic, which is the reason I got this camera, is for the mic connection. And you have to literally cut the protective plastic waterproof casing to gain access to it while you're riding, which of course, you know, if I drop this in a pond now it's gonna break, but I have no intention to do that. So what I went ahead and did was bought a Dremel, or rotary tool I guess it's called. I always call it a freaking Dremel, but bought a rotary tool, watched a couple of videos of old guys using power drills with it on their leg. Like, he literally just sat on his leg and used a power drill to get through it, which I thought was hilarious. But the first thing he said before he started drilling, when he looked at the USB connection and everything, he just stopped and looked at the camera and said, "This is the dumbest shit I have ever seen." And I have to agree with him. Why the hell would you not only put your USB, the USB and the mic port on the side where there's no access to it, but why the hell would it be a USB? I mean, it had a 3.5 before. The Hero 2 uses a 3.5 millimeter on the back. And I know immediately all 4 of you who watch my videos right now are thinking, well, dumbass, they sell a case for that. That's what the new skeletal case is for. Well, if I use the skeletal case in the rain, which I'm gonna be doing, using this in the rain, guess what? The camera's gonna break, because the skeletal case is for completely dry, completely clean areas, or you know, whatever the shit ass. And yeah, that just wouldn't work. So what I did is I took the Dremel and with the camera in there, yes, with the camera in there, I Dremeled it, no. With the camera in there, I marked it with a Sharpie where the hole's gonna be, and I just plunge cut it. And after a few seconds, my Sharpie was gone, and I was just kind of eyeballing it. But it actually came out pretty close to what I wanted. And what I did was I went to Walmart beforehand, because I had this genius plan, which actually worked out well. And that was to This visor actually works really well at night. But go to Walmart, and I went to the I guess you'd call it like the do-it-yourself section where they sell faucets and shower heads and crap like that. Nice wide turn, bro. It's real nice. Dumbass. And I grabbed a packet of O-rings. There's a bunch of different sizes of O-rings, stuff like that. I figured worst case scenario, I'm gonna cut the hole too big, and I'll just slam an O-ring in the hole and force the USB through it, and that'll you know, that basically makes it waterproof. But I ended up just putting one of the bigger, smaller O-rings on the plug itself, and it seats right against the case, covering all of the hole. So, like I said, if I drop this in a pond or the ocean or something like that, it's gonna break. It's gonna fill with water and just be done. But in the rain, the O-ring being pressed as it is against there should take care of it. I should be able to use this just fine without worrying about breaking the camera, which is just awesome. But like I said, with action cameras, you know, you don't have to do that with the drift cameras. I don't believe any of them require anything stupid like that. As a matter of fact, I almost bought a Drift HD, and that camera in particular I know has a back on it, like a rubber grommet type back, where you plug in the external cord and it'll protect it. It's like a waterproof or splash proof, and that's just part of the camera. You don't have to modify it or anything. You just pop that on there and you're good to go. So, you know, maybe GoPro's not intended for what I'm using it for. I only grabbed a GoPro because I'm impatient, and it was the only camera, action camera, besides like an Ion Air or some crap, or the Sony Action Cam, Sony something. It's a Sony piece of shit. That dude didn't have his headlights on. He still doesn't. It's the only camera I could grab at a store quickly and work with, because as I mentioned in another video, I'm going to be going underway pretty soon, and I don't want to be waiting, like, you know, wait 2 weeks and get your stuff and boom, you know, go out to sea. No, I don't want to do that. So I wanted to start getting videos up now, and maybe record like a crap ton tomorrow because the sun's supposed to be out, and chop those up so I have, you know, at least a library of videos before I have to go underway for, you know, 3 months. Good luck holding subscribers with 3 months of no activity, right? But yeah, that's why I'm working with a GoPro, for anybody telling me to get a drift. There's also the fact that I didn't want a side-mounted camera. A lot of my favorite vloggers do. Chase does it. Adrian does it. Leadpin definitely does it. I think even 6'4" does it as well. He's got a side-mounted camera, and not Leadpin. Yeah, Leadpin. Leadpin and Chase both use variants like I do, and they have that side-mounted camera. And I didn't like the fact that it kind of blocks part of the view. I mean, it's not enough to care. I mean, with as wide an angle as most of these cameras have, but I didn't want that. Nothing against them. I mean, that basically gives, well, I would say those guys a unique perspective, but there's like 4 or 5 major guys that use it like that. But I was always more of an M13, you know, down the center. Exactly what I'm seeing is what you see. And actually, I think with this FOV on the freaking camera, you guys can see more than I can. Actually, yeah, with the FOV of the camera, you can see more than I can see, but it's the dead center is looking basically where I'm looking, no matter where I turn my head. Which, you know, requires you to turn your head, but, you know, whatever. They haven't, actually, they have designed cameras that go into your eye, I believe, like contact lenses, but I'm not buying those damn things for some vlogs. I love doing this, but I'm not paying that much for this crap. Why is that? Oh, because I'm at the gate. I'm gonna say, why the hell didn't she have headlights on? Gotta turn your headlights off to get through the gate, or at least dim them, so in the case of a motorcycle, just leave your headlights the hell alone. Unless you have a kill switch and you turn it off, but I don't know how legal those actually are. Anyway, about to hit the freeway. So this will be like a review of the Hero 3, I guess. I haven't done anything with it, so we'll see how my external setup is gonna work. And my helmet looks goofy as hell. I'll try to take a picture and add it right now, But what I had to do is, because I'm using a telephone headset that I cut the earphone off of, so that I would be able to use that mic, because I'm cheap and I didn't want to wait for the freaking thing in the mail like I mentioned. And it didn't work with the camera. When I plugged it in initially, it did not work, because I guess it's because it's a split signal and it wasn't splitting it. So what I ended up doing was I have a gaming headset. Here comes the freeway speed test. But I have a gaming headset that had an extender that splits the wires there, and I plugged that in and it actually worked. The problem with that extension is that the freaking thing is like 4 feet long. So you have like the 2 to 3 feet of the mic, and then you have the 4 feet of the extender. So we're talking about 7 feet of wire that I am not running through my damn helmet. There's no way I'm going to fit that much wire in this helmet without hurting a lot. So I ended up wrapping it around the back end spoiler of the helmet, which a lot of people complained about that spoiler, but hey, I found a use for the damn thing. It's got wires spooled on it, and we'll see how that works. I might be wasting my time right now. That might not even be recording my voice as we speak, but hopefully it does. Hopefully it looks pretty good. I've never recorded a night video either with intentions of uploading, so we'll see how this goes.